I feel like we can. I think there's an element of what we're doing offensively is so personnel driven. And so I think sometimes when we're obviously trying to go fast and knew we were up against the clock and needed to score, but we wanted to make sure we were running our best stuff. And some of that, as I mentioned, is personnel driven, where you start to do 2-minute stuff, you're really limited in your substitutions and what you can do. So that was really the reason why we were doing what we did at that point.
Next one's from Rod Walker.
Hey, Taysom, Sean talked about the slow, flat first half. What do you attribute that to? The offense just not being able to move.
I don't know. It's hard to say just without watching the film, but I just felt like there were little things every drive that killed drives, and we weren't converted on third down, and some of those were favorable situations, where we were third and short and manageable, where you're trying to get to. So look, I at the end of the day, I think we obviously came out flat. And
hey, Taysom, what did you see on the fourth down where you were sacked and fumbled in the fourth quarter there?
Yeah, we were trying to take a shot. We felt like we were going to get a look that would be advantageous to go over the top, and we didn't get that. And so as I was scrambling, I was trying to see if Traquan on the sideline had kind of uncovered and he had worked to get open. And so as I was doing that, obviously I got hit in the back. So that was the intent there. I think in hindsight, maybe it's one of those where you just throw a ball up to Emmanuel knowing it's fourth down. But I was really trying to see if Traquan came open on the sideline was my thought process.
Next one's from Nick Underhill.
Hey, so how do you navigate the balance between staying in the pocket and trying to find someone down the field and running when pressure's coming in?
Yeah, I think look, it's a work in progress. I think sometimes they get you and sometimes you get them. And I would say that when I feel pressure, my eyes are down the field and I'm trying to find a guy to get the ball to. And then it's just finding that balance of, man, you could go and get 7, 8, 9, 10 yards before contact. And I think it's one of those things that we'll, in the future continue to be more and more comfortable with that, certainly from a scrambling aspect and what our rules are and our receivers, expecting to get the ball when they see me outside the pocket.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Taysom, is there like an added like stakes added at this stage of the season to losing games like this? Does it feel any different losing this now than it does in September or October? Just considering that you guys had the kind of inside track and the number 1 seed.
Yeah. Look, we know every game is important in the NFL. And so while I would say that every game is important, we knew what was at stake. We knew what was at stake here, which again is why, as I think about that game, we should have played better in the first half, and I got to take some blame for that. And as a quarterback and doing that, but I think at the end of the day, this one does sting a little bit because we knew what was at stake and we worked really hard to put ourselves in a situation to be in the driver's seat where we can control our own destiny. I would say that this feels a little bit different.
Next one's from Mike Triplett.
Taysom, I know the circumstances were a little different on that lost fumble since it would have done you no good to tuck it in that circumstance, but is it frustrating to lose another fumble after that was a big talking point this week?
You never want to lose a fumble. It's fourth down, you're extending the play, you get hit in the back, it is what it is. As you mentioned, I don't know what the outcome would have been differently if you tuck the ball versus trying to make something happen in that situation.